So this would presumably be within the hour or two after everyone has come back. So there may have been enough time for Lemons to have a chat with Arthur and then sneak in. Because Sal made everyone dinner. Sal and Jamie. So we have to have food, and then we can shuffle about.
Yes.
Oh, winku winku.
I think also to allot time to proper catch up with Carly, because she wants to do that, and also so it can happen before a certain thing occurs, which I will tell you about after this. That will bow out. Also, so good luck, Theo. Hello.
Would you like to remove Henderson's eye blindfold, Zinky?
I removed the Z's.
Can you not remove it?
No, I can. Okay.
I didn't know if you had drawn the. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh god!
I can't do anything about Control Z. No.
Time to draw a new Henderson.
Oh no!
Oh shit! Is there an extra Henderson in the void?
I don't know. Let me zoom out and
message Bree on the other place.
Yeah,
Let
me do
Papa
that.
Henderson. Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no!
I had lag, so I was like, it's not deleting. It's delete key 12 times. I am not highlighting any tokens I have control over in the void.
Oh no!
Oh.
Whoa!
Oh.
There's a bird. Just draw Henderson.
Oh my god.
We don't need a voice or anything, we just need a token back. Oh, that's an amazing little picture. I love it.
That was such a good substitute.
We just keep Wolsey's sad dad.
I love it.
Oh, was that your iPad?
He's beautiful.
Thank you, Lulzy.
Just draw like a
We
little
can't
tear
get on.
him.
I'm okay with continuing with this.
I can't believe you killed Henderson.
I mean, but he's supposed to be awake now, so we gotta draw his eyes open.
His eyes have yet to open.
Yes.
Grant him eyes. Grant
No,
him eyes.
save that for when he starts to cry. No, I'm trying to make him not lopsided.
He's already sad. I like how you're planning on crying already, Inky. Save it for when he starts to cry. Can you remove the blood?
No.
That stays.
He's still, I mean, I guess he's bandaged up probably.
Also, I'm not sure if that's a sentence that's a back and forth that's been uttered before. Can you remove the blood? No, the blood stays.
What a beautiful man. What a handsome dad.
The blood is going. It's seeping back into his body.
It's slurped up.
I can't believe Henderson is now a Bloodborne character. It's called Hunter the Vigil for a reason, but Jesus, Henderson.
Delete the tears. He's not tears yet. I removed the blood, now remove the tears. We'll just need some sweat to round it out later.
Henderson just needs to be a little more nervous, and he will provide the sweat.
The tears are like, get back in there.
Slurp him up.
Just put a second blanket on him, then you got the sweat. No need to torture him.
Am I still... I think at this point Theo is probably still... changelinged. So have fun with that.
That's a good.
Cozy boy.
I gave him a blanket.
White or like medicine green, probably, right?
No, he's only cozy.
Okay. Also, I love that I can do this.
No.
That's amazing.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Just fuck around with his eyes. Oh my god, have you been recording this garbage the whole time?
What? Yeah.
Oh Christ.
Good. Hello everyone. This is what you miss just before Scrib hits record. Before session.
Honestly, I feel like we should record our garbage before sessions, but just compile it separately in a mega garbage video at the end of the season.
I have no... Oh, I suppose,
Don't tell
yeah.
anyone doing it.
That's so much work, but it would be funny.
Yeah, I can't do like video editing or anything. And since I've started doing streaming, this is streaming,
Oh.
if I stopped it and started again, I would have to wait for the stream to stop it so I could start it again.
Yeah. Fair.
Anyways.
We keep the garbage.
Yeah.
So, getting back onto what we were trying to do originally, dinner has ended. People have dispersed. Things are chit-chatting. Lemons is away, and Natalie is off having a conversation. Folks are hanging in the living room, and Theo needs to go see a dad. He's seen everyone except for Henderson and some of the higher ups. So it's time. There's a knock knock on the infirmary door.
Come in. I can't stop you.
Oh no. The door opens slowly and hi, Henderson. There's a face. That wasn't in character. Just there's a face. You didn't expect to be seen for probably ever again.
Henderson blinks and then Natalie.
Wrong diamond, but hi.
I'm still asleep.
Not quite.
Or Natalie, you should check my morphine. Holla at Nat. No one prepared Henderson for this. No one spoke to him.
I don't think anyone knew he was awake. Theo just knocked and then came in when he already was up. Nat's a couple rooms away. She probably can't hear you.
Can you go get her if you exist?
Okay. I'll see if I can go get her. And he pats Henderson's hand through the blanket, and he'll step out.
I think you mean his giant cast.
Yes, Is a Natalie available?
A Natalie could be made available easily enough. Yes.
Where is an Natalie having her chit chat?
That's a good point. I don't know because I'd have to work it out with Bree, but we could have it to like where they're finishing up or something. I don't know.
Sure. What's that roll for, Pinky?
Medical knowledge.
Yeah. And then trying to figure out, is it the morphine?
Yes.
It's probably not the morphine because morphine is a painkiller.
Right. He's like, morphine shouldn't cause me hallucinate, but I am hallucinate.
He's like, something is wrong with me.
Well, it can, but requires like additional stimulus. So
Right.
like it's more of a bedrock for hallucination, but like you would need actual like.
Well, why don't you come in as
additional
Natalie and tell Henderson this?
So we'll say it takes like 4 or 5 minutes, and then Theo locates a Nat.
Yeah.
And he'll let her know, I went to see Henderson, but I think he thinks he's hallucinating because he didn't believe I was real.
Hold on, I'll explain things to him. No, we'll join the Theo.
Okay.
Hey,
Henderson points at Theo. Do you see that?
Yep, that's a Theo. What a thing to wake up to, right?
So, I don't understand.
I'm sure he will explain, but if you think it's the morphine doing that,
Morphine
that's not how,
shouldn't? Unless this is a dream, morphine does cause nightmares sometimes.
yeah,
Points at Nat.
that's not how mine work, but you know, and regardless, morphine, like to hallucinate on it, you need additional stimulus. So, for example, if I were to dose you high enough and to rock your bed, the likelihood of you hallucinating that you were on a ship, for example, would go through the fucking roof. That's not the case here. That is a Theo. He does have goblin ears. Say hi to his goblin ears. He has those now. That's what I'm calling them. You can't
Thanks,
escape.
Nat.
You're welcome. They're adorable.
One goblin.
We have documented proof of Theo imposter, so have you checked that he's not an imposter?
Lemon's already did.
How? Squints.
Asked him shit only Theo would know, I guess.
He asked me a couple of small details about things that happened when I was here in Cardians. Little private things, I guess.
Henderson is just kind of processing.
The slow
Has
dial
all
up
the shit.
noise.
He also has all the shit we gave him. Like, how I know he is he still has one of the bracelets I made from my old jacket that I gave him.
And Theo holds out his hand to show. How impaired are you, Henderson? Would you like to make a perception minus a couple things?
Sure.
What would you say for morphine? -2. -3.
The dosage, like, at least waning off of it now.
I would
so
say
I'd
-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wits composure, right? It's been a while.
Mhm.
Oh, that says Phoenix.
Zoom the fuck in. Yeah, that sure is a little bracelet. It's not the only thing he's wearing. What's that, Henderson? Oh man, that looks familiar. You wore one of those.
Oh. Oh. I forgot, he gave him his scarf, right? Or what did...
Henderson gave Theo his flashlight. He gave Theo his journal paper so that he could write. Omega gave him the scarf. Nat gave him Nat gave him the bracelet. Sal gave him his family Polaroid.
Henderson tried to give him his jacket, right?
Yes.
Calling that.
Yeah, and then Theo was like, "You need it. You're gonna be cold."
So Henderson frowns and he's like, "Is Bo dead?"
No. I was for a little while, but I'm back.
Let me roll for emotional processing. This one will give a mind. Oh!
Oh no!
I was like, emotions probably are a little more wild than thoughts. So.
Yep.
So. Beep, beep.
Oh no! Did you just add the tears? Would you like me to roll an empathy?
Sure.
Here you go, Henderson. Theo notices the distress. And he reaches over, or he scoots over so he can, like, pat the blankets on his bed. It's
What's
okay.
your defense?
Oh, no! What are you gonna do?
What's your defense?
You jerk. My defense is 4.
He tries to pull you in for a big man hug, but...
He just kind of flops his arm around because it's tucked under the blanket.
Well, he, like, gets you with one arm, but he expected to get you with the other arm, but then it didn't move because it's broken. So you kind of get like a hand over your shoulder tug.
Theo goes with it. He does not resist the hug.
And he suplexes you now.
Emotional suplex.
And he says, you exist, you're solid.
I am.
Well, why?
I finished the contract that I made.
That's a lot of time dilation.
Yeah, it's still messing with me a little bit. From my perspective on things, I lived however long it was, more than 60 years. I aged, I grew old enough to die, but when I thought it was the end, instead of, I don't know what I was expecting, but I woke up here instead, like this.
So, why let you go? That's 1,000 times weeks than ours.
Did you just do math? While Jesus.
Math while super high. I don't know why he dropped me off right now, but Rai left me the letter that I fulfilled the deal that we made for the years of my human life, and he said that the years I have for this life, and he kind of turns his hands over a little bit so that you see the black and the shiny sparkles of his freckles. He said that these ones were mine to choose to do what I want with.
Henderson sniffs. I thought you were dead.
No.
Like losing another son, and it hurt.
I know. You got a big hug.
I'm sorry I stopped running, and I don't think I'll be able to keep running now, and
Don't worry about that.
and I stopped running because I was a little worried about getting too attached to you, but it didn't help.
It's okay.
There were a lot, and I didn't want to keep going.
Nat escapes.
Roll your stealth, Nat. Where are you going? Looks up at Nat as she opens the door.
Theo didn't notice. Henderson, who was strung out on morphine, notices, but Theo does not.
Henderson's awareness has expanded past his own existence.
He is one with the med bay. Nat just slips out the door without answering.
No, that's my job. How dare you? You can't be one with the med bay. I'm supposed to do that.
Joke's on you. There's parts of me all over this med bay.
Oh no!
Damn it. Natalie was trying to serenely skedaddle, but like.
Where are you going?
So she will pause in the doorway, and she'll just be like, "Well, I'm giving you some privacy."
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
Do you
I'm
need
nice
to check
like
on
that.
my blood?
I don't think so. I mean, you should be fine.
Always practical, Henderson.
I mean,
Is Cheney's blood okay?
Janie's blood will be fine. I mean, she's not rejected it, so that's something. She'll be okay. She'll just need the rest, and it's a good thing we've got her on an IV drip. So.
Woo. I will say I am not in any pain at all. So good job on
good.
that. Watch. You want to roll a perception, Nat?
Oh no. What is
Or Theo.
Anderson.
And you see him lift his arm in that way you can tell he's about to like go limp and let it drop.
Oh.
He's like, look, I don't feel anything.
No. That's just.
I think you get 2 instances of the diamonds like leaning over you and reaching out to grab your hand.
Basically.
And obviously it takes no effort at all to stop it because he wasn't gonna.
You don't want to do that.
We believe you.
Okay, except that You hurts a little. He points at Theo and sniffs again.
Oh no! Theo just holds on to the hand that Henderson was about to slap himself with.
He's gonna slap. He's just gonna let him flop down onto the bed with a thunk.
I thought he was gonna drop it on his face. Like, look, it doesn't hurt. Slap.
No, he did the like lift arm up and then let it like drop like that.
Yeah. Well, now
Not,
you were
not on
being-
his face, just to his side. of the
Just
bed.
to his side. Okay. You were being handheld, and he just kind of squeezes on tightly.
Natalie, how many pins will it take to put my arms and legs back together?
I don't know. Some.
Because I
honestly,
made a bet with Hellings, so this has got to be more than 50.
You made a bet with Helling? Wait, more than 50?
Oh
What
my
the
gosh.
fuck?
Did Henderson dream that, or did he actually make a bet?
He actually made a bet with Hellings
When
in a
did you
side
bet-
RP.
When did you bet this? What the hell?
When you guys were out on the mission, and then you called him away, and he left me.
Okay. You only need that amount of pins if it's a very serious fracture. Like if it's full on compound shit.
That I got
and-
smushed.
Yeah.
Do you want to help tell me about what happened there? I only just got back, and I heard 2 of you guys were in critical condition.
We fought the matriarch in her own house, which was a bad idea. And I got
Cheney.
squished in the door.
Cheney fought her. We just kind of had to sit back, but we didn't know that Cheney was fighting her because Cheney did this the thing where she stopped talking to us for a while, and we were like, "Oh God, are you okay?" And we inadvertently set off the matriarch a little bit, and then we were like, "Oh no, Cheney, we have to rescue her." And I think that's when because you guys were around.
And everyone was like, Henderson, it's your fault for the radios. But Cheney's the one who stopped using the radio. She agreed to the radios. It's
She
not
did.
my fault. And
You couldn't have known.
I wasn't sure she wanted to come back out, so we had to go in. I had to go in. Some people followed, but I tried to hold the doors open, and the doors shut on me and my leg and my arm.
To be fair, we didn't know they could do that either.
You guys were up there for a mission?
Yeah.
We're looking for all the people your boyfriend stole.
Mm.
He went kind of monkey's paw in returning them. In that they were returned to Carlsville unharmed, but doesn't mean they were
In
all
a
returned.
lake.
Doesn't mean they were all returned to the same place, and it doesn't mean that they weren't returned into the middle of a hazardous situation. As Care almost drowned.
And one of them was in a well.
Oh yeah, that was the guy who was friends with Sal and Jason.
Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie.
Ugh. I'm should probably apologize for that. From what I remember of it, sending everything back, or sending everyone back, was one of the first things we did. And that was when I was still very, very out of it.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Otherwise, I would have tried to at least get people back to non-hazardous spots around town.
Hey, again, you couldn't have known.
Mm. It's still just a little point of. And he kind of holds up one hand and makes like a little pinch, like a little pinch irritation motion.
Henderson touches you, Theo.
Hi.
You're still here.
I'm still here. He pats your hand. He kind of laughs when Henderson pulls his arm back. He's like, "What, you didn't want to check these two?" And wiggles his ears.
He's like, I guess?
Henderson
touches the middle of your face instead.
In his impaired state, boops him in the nose.
I mean, so does that mean you're a fae now? Like a true fae baby or a changeling? Usually there's a fetch if there's a changeling, which would be an imposter. With all of your memories.
I don't know. Definitely not true fae status because I got a little banged up when I first came through the road to Carlsville. So I guess in between fae and human.
Changeling.
Yeah, you're fae with a lowercase f.
Yeah.
Does that mean you can't touch cold iron?
I haven't tried it yet. I don't know if it's a good idea.
Fair.
But I mean, I'm sure River is going to put me through my paces when she gets a minute alone with me.
Faster.
If this is from a deal from Bo, and do you think Finnegan is a fae? Because there was a deal with Bo too, right?
No, he's not. Finnegan is different, but I talked with Rye about some stuff. He never really liked talking about Carlsville, but
Makes sense.
Finnegan had nothing to do with the Fae. Whatever he's been up to is something different.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm misremembering because I'm on morphine.
Okay. No. Finnegan's deals are more. He sees people in need, and his is more kind of deal with the devil than deal with of I will get you out of this situation if you agree to now be a Wendigo for me. With me. Perhaps both.
Oh, and Helene said it probably wouldn't work, but Natalie, what do you think about Ouroboros? You could have Lemons regenerates, right? Points at Natalie. And so he eats Julia, and Julia eats him, and then they don't have to eat anyone else.
I don't think that's how that works.
Theoretically.
I think it has to be human.
You don't think they count anymore?
Well, considering what Finnegan.
Henderson, would you like to roll a perception for plopping your hand on Theo's face? He feels a little bit cold. That's all you notice. Like,
Okay.
kind of chilly, like he just walked in from outside.
Okay. At the moment, Henderson is not thinking much about that.
He just doesn't process. He's just like, you're real. Pats him in the face. So you've been doing some thinking while you've been in bed, huh?
That's all I can do. Hellings wouldn't bring me my notebook.
To be fair, you shouldn't, like, be careful not to overexert yourself, like, up here and taps the side of the head as well, because you will need to rest that.
I just
You're a bit
slept.
impaired at the moment, to be fair.
I just slept, so I'm fine.
Okay.
For like 3 hours.
What time was that again? Sorry.
2 hours.
Okay.
Do you want one of us to go get your notebook?
Yeah, that'd be nice. And I don't know, does Hawthorne know I'm not dead?
Does he? That looks to Theo. I didn't go to the house.
I don't think he knows that you got hurt yet.
When did you
think
go
he
to
just
the
thinks that
house?
So, this is gonna be a story. As well as me being back, the people who were away in Boston are back too. Carly's here.
Yeah.
Is it a tiny yay?
Yeah.
Anderson.
It's a yay for emphasis.
Carly's back, and she's okay. She's doing really good, actually.
Oh, that's good. I haven't seen her.
Yeah. But she brought some people with her. Caleb is here. If you remember him.
Yes.
And Caleb is here because he escorted Abel here.
Ah.
So Abel is in your house, the basement, right now. And he kind of caused a commotion. So a bunch of us went over to see what we could do about getting him to calm down.
I need to make another entrance so people don't gotta walk through my house to get to the basement.
Well, maybe like a bulkhead or something. We'll think about it. But I saw Hawthorne, and I saw Liz, and both of them seemed just kind of tired and a little bit worn out.
Hawthorne saw you like this?
Yeah, he did.
He didn't... Did he ask about your ears?
He seemed a little bit surprised, but he seemed more focused on what was happening with the stuff going on in the basement, because I had to run down there. I only got a second to say hi, that I was back.
He talks about your peanut butter cupcakes all the time.
I gotta make some for him as an apology. I didn't get a chance to.
Not too many. He eats like 3 in one sitting.
Okay. I got a chance to say hi, but I didn't get to stay long. So I owe him a good chat.
I should probably talk to...
When you're up on your feet, why don't we do that together?
I can help you make bread too, like before.
I'd like
There's
that.
not a lot I can do one-handed.
Can still help. I'd like that a lot, actually. It's been way too long since I cooked anything in, like, a modern kitchen.
Actually, yeah, what the hell did you eat?
Lots of different stuff. There's all kinds of, like, fruits and vegetables. We had a little greenhouse. I grew a lot of things.
How did you have a greenhouse in an ice world?
Faye. Henderson waves hand.
That is a pretty good reason, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and it was mostly enclosed. I mean, once we... It sounds fake, but okay. It was sort of a closed-off yard. There were, a bunch of glass walls, and it was warm enough that the plants survived.
Oh.
Rye always humored me whenever I wanted to do projects like that by hand. So I'd do a bunch of gardening and tinkering and all sorts of other little things to keep me occupied.
Were you at the lighthouse?
Is that where you were? I saw you this morning when I first got here.
I called your name 3 times because that's like an important number. I thought maybe, the mirror world, you would hear it. I kept seeing stuff out of the corner of my eye, and I just thought I was going crazy. Or
No.
crazier.
No. I saw you too. When I first got here, I was near, where the hedge portal used to be. Near the cornfields. Oh no, Nat.
No.
And I was looking around, I was trying to figure out how much time had passed. And one of the best indicators I found was the cars, actually, that were out by the old cabin there. They hadn't rusted out, they were still winter-proofed. So I figured it must not have been that long. And when I looked in the side mirror for one of them, I saw you. I couldn't tell where you were, though. And I couldn't hear what you were saying, but I saw you.
So wait, you can, like, fuck about with mirrors now?
I don't know. I guess. I don't know if it was me or what. I'm still figuring it out. But when I looked into the side view mirror, I saw a room I couldn't quite place. And I saw Rich walking up the stairs. And he stopped for a second, and he said something I couldn't hear. And then after a minute, he continued on. And I couldn't see where anyone else was.
Probably saw the lighthouse then.
It must have been it.
Henderson nods and he's like, I thought I was just going crazy. It looks at Nat.
Well, glad you weren't.
Yeah.
At least that look.
So it was nothing.
What was the look, Henderson?
It was like, not. It was like, 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 it was like it didn't mean anything really, but it was just like I thought I was going crazy, and sort of like, you know why I thought I might be going crazy.
Natalie has no idea what you're talking about, Henderson. And if you know what's good for you, neither will you.
Henderson was briefly worried that the conversation they had was enough to get whatever going, and then.
Yes,
But it wasn't.
So is Natalie. Constantly.
Welcome to Henderson Brain, where anxiety all the time, Nat.
I don't like it. I want to get off.
It's called a Ritalin. Actually,
Henderson, please.
Henderson will hug Theo, pull Theo in for crying hug this again.
Oh, you get a big hug.
I wanted to die.
No! No, no, no.
I thought if I tried to keep you professional and didn't get too involved, it wouldn't hurt if something happened, but it hurt a lot.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be that bad.
I didn't want you to know it was that bad.
It was just so important to me that all of you were safe. That that it seems like it took no thought at all to make the decision I did.
It's the only choice. And that looks at Theo in terms of, am I right?
He nods. And Theo is a little teary-eyed too.
Oh.
I didn't want for it to hurt that bad.
It was not your fault.
Still, I'm sorry.
Henderson nods. You're still hugged.
He is not moving out of hug. You have your boy.
Hawthorne's complaining he doesn't have good video games. Do you know what video games are good?
Rich, I haven't seen a video game in forever.
I was about to ask, do they even have video games in their hedge? What's the online reception like?
Oh, it's horrible. No, nothing like that I ever came across.
That's a shame.
I mean, there were sort of things like board games and dice games, but you had to be really careful about playing those. Because you would get those certain kinds of fae who loved making deals through games and turning everything into a competition. Where, of course, someone was going to lose something important.
Do you ever play against any?
Once or twice.
You didn't make any other deals, did you?
No. I tried not to. I made a lot of trades.
traits like what?
All kinds of weird things. Depended on the, I guess, the small fae that you were dealing with. Do you remember the slaver in the market?
Yeah.
I dealt with him a lot because I would always end up heading back that way to try and get as many people out as I could. And it was always weird things that he got fixated on. Like, one of the people I met, someone gave me a sweater as thanks, and it was this bright yellow sweater. And the next time I went back into the market, he was beside himself with how bright it was, and I traded that for, I think, 3 or 4 people.
Oh. Bright in color?
Bright in color. It was the color. I'm pretty sure he ate it. Like, just the color.
I think blue could legitimately have a flavor in the Fae.
I wouldn't be surprised. It was usually things that were either very, like, deeply steeped in emotion or sentiment or magic that they liked.
See, the first two is what I thought, like, he meant when you bring up the whole bright thing, but not the literal color. Also, I didn't think colors had tastes, but they do live in an abstract world, so.
Yeah, I don't know, but things like that all the time.
Do you think there's magic that could undo the stuff in Curlsville?
I think if it started with magic, then there's a point that's tethering it. There's a point that can undo it.
You're not all undone, are you? You
No.
didn't bet away anything important.
No. I'm still me. I guess technically, and he laughs, technically I'm older than you, but I'm still me.
No, you're not.
Well, if he was there for 60 years, I mean, he's actually the oldest out of all of us.
Fey time doesn't count.
I mean, it kind of does.
If it counts, it loses all meaning if it counts.
Well, it's more that it counts relative to the perceiver. So for us, it doesn't.
So you think you're older?
No, it's that he is older, but he's not older in our timeline.
Well, it's theoretically, if this is a new body because he died, he's only however old that body is.
He's technically from the future. Good job, Theo. You've traveled in time. How do you feel?
Really weird.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I don't know, honestly, which parts of me are the old me, which I guess parts of this body are the old me, and he kind of turns his hands over. While I was there, I stayed human. I looked the same, I aged, I grew old. I had a beard for a while. You should have seen it. He
Now
laughs.
that I cannot imagine.
They do not have regular razors in the hedge. It took me a while to learn how to use a straight edge.
Huh.
Don't worry, it was nowhere near as impressive as Sal's.
Have you usurping his crown, I guess.
Henderson's kind of quietly staring off into the distance.
But time did pass. I mean, I went gray, my hands got creaky, all that kind of stuff. So it feels really weird to be like this again.
I can imagine.
Kind of amazing and kind of bizarre.
Well, you may have gone through a bit of Shippathesia's shit, but you're still you. That's what counts.
Well, it depends on the definition you're using, which is a big problem with the Shippathesius, because you don't define your terms.
And both of you have lost me.
Anderson, you're on morphine brain right now. Let's not get too philosophical.
I still feel like we should have tried to save you, even though I guess you weren't really in trouble.
You did try, and I was always okay while I was there.
Do you know, my plan was, remember I saved Bo by giving him my blood, like I gave Cheney all my blood, so now there's 2 people who have my blood.
You haven't given Cheney all your blood, Henderson.
All my extra blood.
Okay.
It's a life debt, right? If he was gonna die and I saved him, and also he has my blood, so that's like, I gave that to you as a present, give me something back. I thought maybe I could have a debt, like, gotten him to give you back or give the people back.
I think you might have had a good chance working something out.
And also, you know, letting them know we weren't. I'm certainly not on Aubrey's side for
Yeah.
all this.
Hmm.
I know. But I wish there was some way I could have told you. You didn't have to worry. That I was always okay. I was always safe and taken care of, and I was happy.
I knew you'd be okay. It was the look in Bo's eyes when I told him to make sure that you were. It was like this. It was like he was determined and also like mildly offended that I even brought the matter up, as in the case of, well, of course, what do you think I'm gonna do?
Of course he was. He
Point
mellowed
is,
out a little.
Good. I'm glad he could use some like a couple of inches of icicle removal from that ass of his.
Nat!
Am I wrong?
Wait, did you guys was? Never mind.
They're married, Henderson.
The answer is yes. And you are the third person to have asked me that.
I'm sorry, it's not on business.
I mean,
I'm sure everyone who's
I mean,
curious.
technically, his entire realm is an extension of himself, so you were inside him the whole time, so it's not really that big a deal.
Oh my god.
we have to give you morphine more often, man. Holy shit.
Wow.
When you relax, you have the filthiest fucking sense of humor, and it's great.
I wasn't making a joke. It's true. It's technically true.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's why it's hilarious.
This is an observation.
It ended up being a really funny one.
Good job, me.
Good job, you.
In all honesty, I probably need to be medicated, but I probably shouldn't be given medicine because that's.
If you need some, you will be given some, trust me.
I wouldn't trust me with medicine.
If you need some, you will be given some. That's if you need some.
We'll see what
You don't
Pleasant
need
has
some,
to
right?
say. She told me I had no friends and I needed to make one.
Wait, what? Who said this?
Pleasant.
Oh.
Who's that?
Oh,
you
our
have-
therapist. We all have a team of therapists now because we're
Yeah.
all falling apart.
Yeah, we have a
Oh,
therapist now.
oh.
Fucking finally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened in the 60-year, 2-week span that I've been gone.
Yeah. So we have a therapist now. We actually have like major Cardian attention because Aisha called in
Because we
either
killed the
favors or like alerted wider Cardians to it, and now
And
we
she-
have
Cheney was hiding everything from Guardians, which is why they didn't pay us any money, and now Cheney isn't an ace anymore.
yeah,
Oh.
which well,
She was very upset about but I stopped her.
So,
Yeah.
what happens to you guys now?
you keep
If-
going.
Gonna take 8 weeks minimum for my arms to fix.
Oof.
I think, I don't know, this was my estimation.
I'm seeing what I can do to shorten that.
You've got a really good team looking after you.
Well, like, it's a good thing I do when we're all in trouble is I can stop the monsters. Now I'm missing an arm, so I don't know, and a leg, and grappling is at least 80% your legs, actually. So and I have 40% legs.
40% legs.
Yes, 10%. You are indeed 40% legs.
I don't want to be grappling. 40% short, and that's not counting the arm.
I think you're discrediting all of the research and help that you've done before like that.
Exactly.
River's doing a lot of research now.
Yeah, but River doesn't know how to talk to people.
I'm not super great at that ever either.
I mean, you're better than her, though.
You're alright at talking to us, and that's what's important.
Exactly.
I beat her dad at talking.
Oh, yeah, her dad came. That was fun.
Oh man, so what's he like?
He's an asshole.
He's
Doesn't seem
like
surprising.
Rich's asshole dad.
Yeah, would you believe that asshole is genetic to the Hathaway family? Well, it is.
It's more
Like-
believable than Faye having assholes, which is a whole new concept, since I don't think they'd need them.
Like, he's even more of an asshole than she is, because whereas River, like, at the very least tries to be, like, courteous.
Natalie
and-
does not acknowledge what Henderson said at all.
Wait, what did he say? I cut out there. What happened?
He said
You
asshole
said-
being genetic was less surprising than Faye's apparently having assholes, because he wouldn't think they would need them.
That's a new concept to him.
God, no. Actually, she would like continue to say that sentence, and then she would stop, and then she would look at you, Henderson. Did Theo? Theo looks. Nat looks to Theo on the lines of, "Is this true?" So, well, now we know. Well, now we know who topped. Anyway, so.
Jesus Christ. I was gonna say that's a little more personal than I'm willing to get into, but you are just you were filthy, Natalie Cole.
Nat shrugs.
I'm sorry, I've been talking everything that I think, and usually I think 10 times more than I talk.
It's
You have
okay.
lost your filter.
Yes.
It's okay.
Some of the important stuff. I don't think I've messed up, though. We'll have to talk to Helen before.
Exactly. You're doing fine, Henderson.
If you're closer to 100 than there is to 50 pins, Helen's taking me to the theater.
You guys are gonna go out?
If there's closer to 100 than... Actually, either way.
Huh. I'm glad.
So much. Alright.
It sounds like
Because Pleasant says I have no friends and I need to make one my own age.
oh no. I was gonna say I'm glad that it sounds like Matthew is mellowing out on his own as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that helps that we're... Oh, no, you weren't here for that. So when we got back, he and Sal, like, reconciled hugely, and then it turned out that, oh, the reason that Hellings is mellowing out way the fuck that he is because when we were in the hedge and when we were doing, you remember like we were wandering around the market doing those deals? Sal
Yeah.
sold Hellings' anger.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
He,
I thought it
he
was
sold,
his-
Does he know
his
what he
hatred.
could have done?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he kind of knows that now, and he experienced it in the form of like him selling all his memories to Finnegan,
God damn it,
like
Sal.
about Finnegan. So they like confronted what like Sal admitted to that. I don't know how that went, but I think it went well because they're talking at least. So yeah.
Well, Helen would have a hard time being angry at him now, wouldn't he?
I mean, I guess, but he did come, like, Sal did come out of there with a bloody nose or whatever, so, I mean, I guess it's not like all gone, but...
So he sold
it's
a part of his anger.
Yeah, I think. It's
Okay,
complicated.
What the fuck, Sal?
Yeah. Bear in mind though that this was pre-memory loss Sal, so this was when Sal was an asshole.
He's still kind of an asshole.
Well, yeah, but for different reasons.
He punched Lalo's arm all the way off.
He did do that.
Lalo did
Yeah.
scar him pretty bad.
Yeah.
Ugh, that was a mess.
Yeah, it was.
I saw Lalo.
Holy shit, really?
When... Did Carly tell you where she found us and what was going on then?
I haven't seen Carly.
We've
Well, yeah, I guess you're due for the whole story. So, when I first got into town, I was trying to find my way back to the base. I forgot sort of the path there from the cornfield. And I ended up wandering through the woods a little bit, and I ran into one of the people who had been sent home. His name is Carlos. He is the young kid that we brought in.
Oh, him. Okay.
And, you know, he was kind of stuck up in a tree, and I asked him what had happened, what was going on, what I could do to help. And he said that it sounded crazy, but he had just got here from what looked like another world, and his dad was missing, and he needed to find him. And I figured the best way to do that would be to find you guys.
Makes sense.
So I was trying to head back to the main road, and he mentioned a campground, and I thought that, no, it was probably the campground nearby. But when we got to the main road, that was when we ran into, or rather, they ran into us, Caleb, Carly, and Abel.
Yeah, you got run the fuck over, didn't you?
I was trying to avoid that in front of Henderson.
You got run over?
Caleb,
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
He's okay.
Why did Caleb run you over?
Because I was in the middle of the road and I didn't move.
Well, you shouldn't run people over. That's a basic function of driving.
I think how Theo said it was like you forgot that cars were a thing.
Would you run over a baby in the middle of the road? Babies don't know what cars are.
I think it was a bad
fault.
He pats Henderson on the shoulder. I forgot how cars worked, and I thought he would stop if I stood still in the middle of the road, and he didn't. Or he didn't stop soon enough, rather. So I got a little dinged up, but I'm okay. At any rate, after we ran into them, they brought us to the campground that, I guess, there's a whole setup over there.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of people. Carly said they were working through with Cardians. I saw River and Tomo were over there, and we kind of joined up with them to do a sweep looking for Carlos's dad. And while we were out there, I ran into Lalo, or I guess a bunch of us did, and I kind of freaked out.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't a great impression. I didn't really hide all of this, and he kind of motions at his ears and his freckles. And he just kind of rounded a corner and saw me and froze up really bad.
Oh,
River got him to calm down, though.
good.
So, I don't know. I'd like to apologize, but I don't know how well he'd do with it.
I think once he has a chance to calm down and everything, then
If he's scared of your ears, write him a letter.
I don't think he's scared. I think you remember how when he saw Omega for the first time, his instinct was to get rid of him. I think it was more like that.
Same concepts.
I guess it's not a bad idea. I mean, I could always write. We'll see.
Anderson's looking kind of tuckered out.
Henderson's sleepy boy.
Yeah.
Here, let me roll a perception. I notice. He's getting a little droopy-eyed and kind of zoning off.
Yeah.
Need us to give you some more time to rest, Rich?
I'm okay.
I don't know, you look like you're
just-
fading out.
I just slept.
Yeah, but morphine doesn't care that you did.
Was Nat going to say something? I don't know what the rules were.
Not at the moment. She'll
Okay.
just kind of wait.
You say you're not sleepy, Henderson, but I shall wait. I don't want to go to sleep. You just got back.
I'll still
Fine.
be here. I'm not going anywhere this time.
You said that last time.
Do you want me to stay here for the night?
No, you don't have to.
It's okay. We've got a bunch of people that we need to set up for the night anyway. I can crash in here. I'll throw a couple chairs together.
You can go to your room or take a bed at my house if you need to. You don't gotta stay here. I'm fine alone.
Well, if you want to make sure that I'm still here, I wouldn't mind.
Oh, okay. No more missions tonight?
Nah, it's past dark now.
It's dark. I need to talk about Julia doesn't want us killing mimics, but maybe I can get her to come home if we agree she can go see the mimics.
Oof.
Which ones?
They're her children, so all of them.
Oh,
She'd rather stay with them than come home to Hawthorne and me.
She's in a dark place right now, but we'll get her out.
Yeah, she is. Because she can't go out in the light places anymore.
It's gotten that bad, huh?
She was in the forest today. So I guess it doesn't have to be night.
Just away from the sun.
Nods.
Get her out.
I don't know if she wants to be gotten out. You gotta wonder at what point do you respect those wishes, and at what point can you not excuse the people she's eaten?
There is that element, but by the same token, she is a person that needs saving.
Is she a person?
Would you call me a person?
You're a person.
Julia Henderson is two things. She is, in part, yes, someone that has, certainly eaten and potentially been responsible for the deaths of innocent people, but
Several people.
Yeah. But she was also set down this path by circumstances out of her control, and she's also very much mentally compromised. So let's treat both before we stick to one.
Henderson nods.
Is there a way that you know of that we can talk to her before the week is up?
If I walk into the woods, it seems pretty quick to get her attention. I guess I'll have to roll into the woods.
I guess so. Just because, well, I'd like for our group to talk to her. You know, the group that we made with Jason?
Yes.
Will she talk to you when other people are around?
I don't know. Could maybe get her to come out and then bring other people in afterwards, after calming her down.
Sounds like that's worth trying.
Certainly. We'll take it step by step. Speaking of which, actually, so I've talked to Lemons. He wants to get in contact with Julia too for his own reasons, due to his own
Cannibalism.
set of circumstances. And I've said I would talk to you and Jason about it, but I'm happy for him to join our group, but I am not the only person in that group.
I'll think about it.
Fair. I'll tell Jason the same thing. It's good that you're back, Theo.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. It's just because, well...
It's good to see everyone.
Yeah. You bring a very particular you-ness to everything. And it's not been the same since you've been gone.
Just Henderson slowly falling asleep and waking back up.
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna. Now, Henderson.
What?
Henderson. You shouldn't force yourself to stay conscious, okay? If your body wants to sleep, let it sleep.
I'm just participating in the conversation about my wife.
Fair.
We can
Is there
continue it in the morning.
Yeah, we can. Just to warn you though, there will be some things that I would like to talk to her about, just me and her. So
What things? Can I know the things?
you cannot. And she looks very meaningfully at you, Anderson, because if I'm right, then no, you cannot.
Is this about the other thing I can't know about? I know Natalie hates Henderson. He literally cannot forget something once he knows it.
Natalie says nothing. She just says she just says like I said, if I ask something that seems like weird and lacking in context, I just need you to trust me.
Nat, you were getting a very pointed look from Theo.
Well, I'm opening up to people about it as far as I can. But I'm not having people put in danger.
You know that your fight is our fight, right?
Yeah, and that's why I'm cluing people in on as much as they can. But I've seen the end result.
I guess we'll see if... Well, you've seen the end results of a person who didn't tell anyone and kept it all to themselves. But I see your point. We'll see how the talks go.
Yeah. That, and I need to have a trial concerning my birthday.
Oh?
Well, I have a theory, and it's a theory that I will need help with experimenting with come my birthday. Arthur takes time off around his birthday for a reason. I would like to test part of this theory by
Seeing
essentially
if that reason shows up for you.
Yeah. Oh, and we have three people. I did fucking say, hey, Henderson, force yourself to stay awake, and he was like, no, I'm fine. Damn it, Richard. I'm cluing people in on it. I am. Just being cautious.
You just gotta promise to keep me in the loop.
She motions to the three of us, Theo. She motions to the three of you. And that's literally what I'm doing right now.
Okay. But if anything changes, if it gets worse, don't fight this on your own.
If it gets worse, I don't know if I can promise that. but I will try. I only promise to try, because as much as I'm working on a solution to this, I'm still figuring it out as I go.
Okay.
Okay. You two on left B, or?
I think I'm gonna grab a couple things from my old room and then probably camp out here.
Fair.
I owe it to him to be here in the morning when he gets up.
Yeah, true. You want a hand moving shit, or are you good?
Sure. You can make. He smiles. Can make a little blanket fort in here.
Oh yeah. Won't be as good as the bed I made for Danny, but I can try.
You made a bed fit for a queen.
Hell yeah, I did.
Scene.
Yay!
You did it. Good job, guys.